Hey, I'm going to be talking about different size jars and what I use them for and the difference between the sizes and like all that kind of stuff. If you have questions, let me know. I feel like I pull out jars on my refrigerator all the time, which I still can. I can pull out strawberries or mushrooms or whatever. So these are my strawberries that we're going to use for Valentine's Day. See, there's a little bit of condensation in there, but I know that those are dry all the way. They're over a week old. So that jar that I was just holding up, that's a gallon size jar. This is also the same jar. It's a gallon size jar. And then for years and years, we use these. I still have some and I sent them with family members too. These are the Mount Olive pickle jars. We still use them all the time. These are pickle jars. We get these at Walmart. So the whole jar with the pickles is like $4.97. Well, it was. I haven't checked in like the last 6 months. They have been like right under $5 forever. So that would be interesting to go see what the current price is on things. Anyways, these jars, these are $5. You just have to deal with the pickle smell, and I have some tricks on that. And then these are in our Amazon storefront if you want the white lids. Once we started building a longer term storage and I needed more jars, I bought the glass ones with white lids. Anyways, if you are using a pickle jar, oh, I have this one here. Here's another pickle jar. If you're using a pickle jar here in the Seattle area, we have to wait until the summertime to do it. But if you're washing it and you wash it a couple times and you can't get the smell out of the lid, glass doesn't hold a smell, it's just the lid. You can put this out in the sun for a couple days and it will help get the smell of the pickles out of that. So here in the Seattle area, you have to wait until August. Or just give up on it because we don't have sun like for months at a time. But other parts of the world, you know, you could just put this outside after you've washed it. So that's my trick if you're going to reuse pickle jars. You don't have to do that with the glass. It doesn't keep the smell in the glass at all. So this is a pickle jar that was on my shelf. I do still use them. I did send some away to college and to other people's houses when they moved. And then these are pita chips. These are actually from like Christmas time, but they totally, like when we opened it, I put them in here and they totally stay fresh. It's totally sealed. It's just like having an unopened bag. Anyways, so there's some snacks that we have that were in the pantry. This is something else. So this is the same gallon size jar. It's a plastic top, but it's the same one I use for the strawberries. These hash browns in here are those little carton boxes that you can get at Costco. I just don't like how they look. So I put them in a big jar and then I just measure out a scoop. It's a measuring cup. I use them as scoops. A scoop of hash browns and with equal parts of water. And I put it in a glass container with a lid for 12 minutes. And then like the same instructions as what's on the box. But this looks prettier on my shelf than cartons of hash browns. So we like these just for emergencies to have them as backup. So these are kombucha jars off of Amazon, or those are just pickle jars that you recycle. All these other jars I'm going to talk about, I only buy canning jars. I don't buy like dollar store jars that could be inferior to canning jars that are made to hold up to the pressure of being canned. This jar is a half-gallon size jar. It's like as big as my head. This is the only one that you don't can in, but it's a Ball canning jar brand. The cool thing about this one, this is the largest size top. This has the same size top as like a quart size jar, which is a wide mouth. But if you had a food saver with a jar attachment, this is the largest jar that you could vacuum seal for stuff that's in your pantry. So just kind of remember that when you're buying jars. I do have some other half gallons that are from a different brand. I don't even know if I have one handy, but they don't fit the vacuum sealer. So the only time I vacuum sealing something is if I want it to last in my pantry like more than 6 months to 3 years or 5 years, then I'll vacuum seal them. But if it's just like the nuts that we're eating all the time or whatever, then I don't worry about it. So this is a half-gallon size. We use this a lot in the fridge too. The next size down from that is a quart. So again, these all have the same size tops. They're all wide mouth tops. They're all exactly the same and are interchangeable. So these are peaches I canned, but this is a quart size jar. I use these for cherry tomatoes a lot inside the fridge. And then this jar jar right here is also a quart, but they have different size lids. This is a regular size and this is a wide mouth. So if you're trying to do stuff in your fridge that you want to be able to try to get a spoon out easier with stuff, get a spoon in, out, either way, then you would, I just normally buy the wide mouth. I have some regular mouths still, but I normally buy the wide mouth, and that's just easier because you can use a wide mouth pretty much for anything. These are called pint and a half. So these are great. Also, we use them for smoothies all the time, but in the fridge and with produce and stuff, I'll cut up taller things and put them in here too when I have a bigger area I want to cover. So this one is called pint and a half. And it's a wide mouth. This one's actually pretty hard to find. I heard that they were getting discontinued last year and I bought 9 cases. I was worried that they weren't going to have them, but sometimes you can find them here and there, but this is the hardest one to find if you do find it. And this is a great one to freeze too, because it doesn't have any shoulders on it like the other, like a regular mouth one does. If you don't cool down the liquid on this one and you put it in the freezer, it can crack. So this is a great one if you want to put it in the freezer. This is a wide mouth pint-sized jar. This is actually what we use for drinking glasses. So you'll see me. I have a drinking glass. We've been using these for like 10 years and never broke one, even with like a bunch of littles and stuff. This is applesauce in here that I canned, but I use these in the fridge like every day. And then I just have like a jelly jar. It's a half pint. So we can these pears for our grandma. She's 93 and diabetic and she can't have a lot of sugar. And so I end up making these for our grandma. And it's just special to know that she's eating things that I made for her and they're good for her. So anyways, that is the canning jars. And then I have, I'll show you these great big ones. These are called Anchor Harbor jars. This one is 1.5 gallons. So it's 1.5 of the strawberry jars, but this is the lid on the inside and it's not all the way airtight. So it doesn't do exactly what like this jar will do as far as sealing things for longer. And we don't live in an area that has pantry moss. So I don't really have to worry as much as about something getting in there. And this is like the flour that we're going to use quickly, so I'm not too worried about it. But if I was trying to do a longer term storage, I wouldn't be storing in this one. Is that the same as the jar behind you with the hearts? Yeah. Yep. Nice catch. I didn't even see that. I was looking in my pantry for one. Yeah. This is 1.5 gallons size. And you see, I have labels on some of them and then I just get lazy. But I just write with a Sharpie almond flour when I'm changing things out. I end up just writing on the jar. Well, this one's kind of funny, honestly. Look. This one has the pretty label on one side, and on the other side, it has the Sharpie. So, but this one is jasmine rice. So this is pretty heavy. This one is a 2-gallon size. That 1 gallon, I'm going to set it down before I drop it, is 2 of the strawberry in a jar sizes. This is a lot of rice, and I know like people were buying rice and beans thinking they would last a long time, you know, decades, and it would be on their shelf and be safe. But in a lid like this, they're not going to last like the years and years like some people think. So anyways, this is our working pantry and something we would store in something in the pantry that we want to be using within the next year. So, and then I have a ginormous one. So that's a word, or is that an Amy word? I'm not sure. But this one is 2.5 gallons. I'm just going to step back. This is 2.5 gallons. So this one jar is the same as 2.5 of these. So these Anchor Harbor ones, they're on the Amazon storefront. They come in and out of shipping. So sometimes they're available and sometimes they're not. But I think they're beautiful and I like them in my pantry, but they are not as airtight as the other things. So just make sure that you don't put something in there that you are not planning on eating for 5 years. Like these are things that we all plan on eating within the next year. So anyways, have a good night or a good morning or a great day or a great sleep or wherever you are in the world. We'll be seeing you soon. Bye-bye.